Hi, Shane here. You're watching Sam for God, and this is Mark. Check her out.
So hi guys, how you doing? Today I want to talk about the very sad events that have recently happened in quite a few different countries around the world. I'm talking about terrorist attacks, bombings, shootings, guns, and people dying, being killed. So yeah, it's not going to be a very fun video, but at the same time I want to tell you how I feel about things like this and why I don't see it always in a very completely negative way. Right, first let's talk about the attacks that happened in Paris on Friday the 13th of November 2015. There were loads of shootings and loads of people died. Innocent people got killed at a concert venue, just in innocent places. People who were just going out to have fun, like on a weekend, you know, on a Friday night. People died, people got murdered that night for no reason, and it's just so sad, you know. It's terrorist attacks and it's incredibly sad. It's just like incomprehensibly sad. I can't imagine what the families, their friends and families are going through right now. And you know, the support that the world showed Paris after that is amazing. Like Facebook, like everyone on Facebook were like changing their profile pictures to like the French flag and stuff because Facebook, you know, created this banner kind of thing for people to be able to do that very easily. Facebook also did this thing where people who were in Paris could like check themselves into Facebook and let everyone know very quickly that they're safe. Again, a very nice thing to do. I have people in Paris, I've got friends in Paris and people that I know, and you know, when I got my first update, like, because obviously I read about it, the whole situation, and like maybe about half an hour later I started to get a few notifications on my Facebook like, oh, this person's just checked in safe, and I was like, wow, like, you know, I felt obviously very happy that they're safe, but it just made me realize that it's too close to home. It's, you know, I know people in Paris. It's a place that I've visited many times, and it just made me very sad, but also, you know, in a way relieved that the people I know are safe. However, today I want to talk about a thing that has been annoying me a little bit about this whole situation. And I mean, I'm not somebody who normally gets annoyed, so I think annoyed is actually the wrong word to use for this. A situation that makes me sad a bit, because the day before the attacks happened in Paris, about 40-something people were killed in Beirut in Lebanon. But did the media cover that as much as they covered Paris? No. They didn't. Did Facebook allow people who were in Beirut to check in and let their friends and family know that they were safe like they did with Paris? No. Did Facebook create a banner with a Lebanese flag for people to like show their support to the Lebanese people who died? No. And, you know, it just makes me wonder why. And I mean, the why is very simple. It's obvious. It's because people relate more to a place like Paris. You know, Westerners, people who live in England, the majority of the people living in well-developed countries, first world countries, if that's the word, they just relate more to people in countries that are similar to theirs, and that's sad. That is so sad. I don't know, like, I'm definitely not making this video to make people feel guilty. A lot of my friends changed their profile pictures to the French flag on Facebook, and you know, it's fine. You know, it's very nice that you're all showing support to Paris, but the sad thing is, the sad thing isn't, you know, showing your support to Paris, it's just not showing support to other countries, and for the support to not be available. Like Facebook, if I was somebody working for Facebook, I'd be ashamed of myself at the moment. It is a bit sad, you know. I think Facebook as a company haven't done the right thing, to be honest, with this whole Paris thing. I mean, it's very nice what they've done, but like, you know, there are people dying constantly all the time, unfortunately, around the world. This whole problem isn't just with Paris, it's a global thing, and it's terrible to ignore the other places that these things are happening. Like, a human life is a human life, and I don't know, I just can't imagine, like, for instance, how people are feeling in Beirut right now, their friends and family, the friends and family of people who died there innocently because of shootings there and like attacks there. And I mean, apparently there was a bomb that went off like in Baghdad recently as well at a funeral. Like, how terrible is that? People need to cover things like this in the media more often. People need to be aware of this, and people need to realize that all of this is sad. It's a problem, and it's something that hopefully should someday be done with and not happen again. Yeah, that's what I want to say about this situation though. It's obviously incredibly sad, like I said. It's just tragic, and you know, I've read loads of like articles and stuff about the people who've died both in Paris and Beirut, and just terrorists just suck generally, and there's nothing I can say to make that better, and everyone knows that. I mean, the majority of the people, you know that this is a stupid and ridiculously horrible thing to do. And so that's when the not so terrible negative thing that I told you earlier comes to mind. A lot of people, when they kind of read this news and stuff, go on about how they're very sad about humanity, and like the humanity is just like gone completely wrong. And it's easy to say that because yes, you know, I sometimes like wonder how on earth would, and why on earth would somebody be so horrible as a person to do this to innocent people. But then things like this also make me believe in humanity a lot more, and it just makes me content in a way, because at times of need like this, at times of very tragic events like this, people come together to help. And that just really touches my heart. I know it's a very sad thing, but it's like, for me, it's a reminder that the people are nice. Most people in the world are nice and aren't terrible people like the terrorists who do terrible things like killing innocent people. I think that's a good thing. You know, that's a good thing that I like to look at when, you know, in tragic events like this. Obviously, there's no way I can be like, this whole thing is a good thing, because it's not. But at the same time, it is nice to know that there are some people who really care and are very, very kind. I feel that this video has been very sad so far, so let me talk about something else that I want to talk about that's related to this. Disneyland Paris, a place very close to my heart, a place that I visited so many times since I was a child, obviously is located in Paris. And after the events happened on the evening of Friday, the 13th of November in Paris, Disneyland Paris announced that they would be closed on Saturday, the 14th of November, for the first time since they opened in 1992. It's weird because when I heard the news that Disneyland Paris were going to be closed on the Saturday, I felt both happy and sad. Happy, you know, relatively speaking. I was glad they decided to close because it's definitely the right thing to do, you know. It's just, you have to show your respect to the people who died, and it wouldn't have been right for them to just be like, oh my god, we've got a nice park and come and be happy and stuff. Like, but also it was sad because they'd managed to go so many days without having a full day closed until recently, and they had to close. You know, the reason they closed was because of stupid terrorist attacks. Towards the end of Saturday the 14th, Disneyland Paris then confirmed that they would be closed for an additional 3 days. So they said they would be closed until Wednesday the 18th of November 2015. So that's 4 full days of being closed, and obviously that's not a good thing for Disneyland Paris. You know, they're going to be losing loads of money, loads of customers, loads of guests would be like unhappy and stuff, and it's not good. It's not a good situation, but at the same time it's definitely 100% the right thing to do. And it just made me feel very... Again, I can't really explain how I felt. It just made me feel like I'm in solidarity with everyone in the world, and like I'm very proud of the people working at Disney, even though I don't personally know them. But it's just like, as somebody who loves Disneyland Paris so much, I was very happy that they did the right thing and just like showed their respect and stuff. Also, as you would have probably seen by the title of this video, magic is something that I believe in. I know you might think it's childish, like magic is for kids, it's not real. But I like to believe in magic. One of the reasons I love Disney and Disneyland Paris so much is because I believe in magic, and when I'm there, I feel the magic. And these events that have happened recently made me realise that people can create magic. It's people like us, normal people, regular people, who create magic. Because in Disneyland Paris, although the parks have been shut for like 4 days, the cast members there have been so amazing. Like, because the hotels are still open, obviously the Disney hotels, and there's been characters constantly in all the hotels just to like keep the guests entertained and make sure that they still have, you know, as magical of a time as they can. I wasn't in Paris, I wasn't in Disneyland Paris when this happened, and I'm still not in Disneyland Paris, but I had friends and people that I know who were there, and they sent me pictures and messages and they let me know about what was happening, and it's so touched my heart. I can't explain how nice it is to know that there are such nice people in the world. Like, there were volunteers in Disneyland Paris in the hotels making balloon animals for the kids, or like painting their faces and stuff just to make the kids happy, because I'm gonna start crying. You know, kids are innocent, you know, like a 4 or 5-year-old person, how is she or he gonna know that, you know, there are such terrible people in the world, and they wouldn't be able to grasp this whole concept of terrorism, and they shouldn't, because they're too young. They're just there to have a great time, and, you know, despite the whole situation, despite the parks being closed, Disney still tried their very best and is trying their very best to keep their guests happy and the families happy and the kids happy. And like, the pictures just make me cry, like just all these characters going to the hotels just to bring happiness to the people who are there, you know, stuck there. And I don't know, I'm sure you'll agree with me. Like, if you've read up on this whole situation, you probably agree and understand how I feel. I wasn't even going to make this video, to be honest, but then I thought about it for a couple of nights and I was like, I'm going to regret it if I don't, because it's something that is very close to my heart. Like, Disneyland Paris is my home Disney park. It's my favourite theme park in the whole world. I love it so much, and this whole situation that's happened with all the terrorist attacks recently, unfortunately, is somehow related to Disneyland Paris. And I just wanted to talk about the good that people do, the magic that people create, the happiness that all these cast members at Disney bring to children's faces. Even in terrible situations like the recent events of Paris, you know, it just... people are lovely. There are such amazing people in the world, and that's what I love about life. That's why I love life. And if all the nice people in the world, if all the people who are normal, who realize that killing people is just ridiculous and should not be done, obviously, if we all join forces and keep being the way we are, you know, keep showing support to everyone, all the countries, all the lives that have been lost, we are going to beat terrorism somehow, someday, I hope. Anyway guys, I'm so sorry if this was a very different video to my normal videos, but I hope you found it interesting, and please discuss in the comments with me how you feel about this, and if you agree with me about how well Disneyland Paris has handled this whole situation. And if you're in Disneyland Paris, especially in this past few days, let me know of your experience in the comments if you can, because it just makes me very happy. It touches my heart, like I said, reading about how Disney have been trying their best to keep things happy for their guests regardless of the situation, and still showing their respect to all the people that died tragically. So yeah guys, that's it. I'm sorry that you saw a video like this. I very rarely do serious videos like this. I think the last time I did a serious video was like in March or something, when I did like the video about me leaving my job, my previous job, and that wasn't even as serious as this. But yeah, that's why I love YouTube, because it's like a platform for me to just talk to people about stuff when I have loads in my mind. And I'm very grateful to you guys for listening to me. So if you did watch this whole video and listen to me, thank you. And thank you for being such great people who care about the world and want to stop terrorism, basically. Anyway guys, I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!